All right, so February has been such a mess for me. Let's see if we can kind of like turn it around in the next few days. Also, wow, what the fuck is happening with my hair? So, hi, welcome to today's video vlog, which we're basically gonna be doing what I do every month, like the last week of the month. I do like a clean slate vlog. So the goal of this, we want to go into the next month with like basically all of our reading goals accomplished, all of the books that were ongoing, hopefully finished, and just kind of going started in the new month with a clean slate. So I feel like I have done nothing towards any of my goals in February. It has just been like a weird, busy month for me. Work's been insane. I traveled for a bit, and it's just enough that I feel like it was a slightly too chaotic, and I have not thought anything about any of the goals that I want to accomplish. I do have a set of like reading goals that I try to accomplish every month, and they're, you know, they're not too difficult, but I don't think that I'm doing a very good job on any of them. And I guess it's only the second month of the year, so there's still plenty of time for that to like wildly change, but so far not great. So we have a lot that I want to accomplish this week. I have a lot of books on the go, and a lot of books like checked out from the library that are very shortly going to be coming due. So I would like to finish off some of them. And then we have the reading goals themselves. So some of them, ones that I have accomplished, or I guess the one, maybe two. I want to read more books every month, basically, than what I have hauled onto my physical TBR. Have done that. Have not hauled a lot of physical books, or the ones that I have hauled are ones that I've already read. So I don't really count those towards my physical TBR. So that one, we're good. I think I hauled 2 books and I've read 4 off my physical TBR. We're doing great. And the only other one is I want to read 2 books from my 25 books to read in 2025. I read Babylonia and The Bone Ships this month, so check on both of those. And now we have a few others. So I want to read one nonfiction. Have not looked at any this month. We'll take a look and see if there's anything that I can easily access and potentially want to read. I do like to participate in the Buzzwordathon reading challenge by Books and Lala. This year there's 2, so there is a covers challenge and a word challenge. We'll talk more about that later, but I'd like to accomplish this. I might have already read books that count towards that. We'll check and see. And another big one that I have is I want to read 1 to 2 books every month from the New York Times 100 best books of the 21st century list, which 100%, I'm not really like super stressed about this one. This is more of just, I recognize that I think I read like 4 books off that list. I read very, very few, and I want to kind of diversify my reading a little bit more, even though, I mean, that was not a diverse list by any means, but a lot of it was more historical or literary fiction, which I do not read, and I'd like to just give them a chance and see if there's any that really work for me. I did read 2 last month, which was great. Very happy with myself for that, but yeah, I'd like to keep going towards them. So those are our main goals. I have a few books on the go, but I'll come back and talk to you guys later about it, because I haven't really like figured out, I haven't really like thought it over or looked at any of what I'm reading right now. I just got home from Cuba yesterday, and hence the sunburn, and I feel like my life is still in a little bit of chaos. So we are going to also be trying to get things in order, I guess, just because I feel a little bit stressed and a little bit like everything is too much chaos right now. So I need to figure that out. But hi, welcome to the vlog. Hopefully this will be like a good one. We'll get a lot done, and yeah, hopefully it will be very, very productive. So thanks for coming to the video. Thanks for joining. If you haven't already, would love if you subscribe, and let's actually get started into this. Hi, it's Sunday morning. I haven't really updated on here yet this weekend. Did I start this yesterday? I can't remember. Basically because I'm doing a weekend romantasy readathon, so that's kind of taking place. But I did wanted to quickly come on and kind of talk about the book that I am currently reading. I mean, I'm reading a few other things, but this is the one that I guess I've been like more focused on. So finally started Malazan and The Gardens and the Moon, book 1. And I'm roughly a quarter of the way in. Really, really wanted, it's on my 25 to read in 2025, which technically don't need to read anymore for this month. I've hit my goal. But at the same time, really just want to read this one. And the Broken Binding has their like Malazan sale going on because they're doing special editions of the first 3 books. So I kind of want to read this one and see if I might be interested in that. Similarly, I'm going to try to read Hyperion this week because the pre-sale for that's going up too. And both of them look stunning, but I also like can't justify buying things that I don't necessarily know if they'll work for me. Like I'm really, really trying to be a little more cognizant of that and not spend money on books that I might not like. A big reason why I've like significantly like cut down on it's a reason why I've significantly cut down on the different subscriptions that I have at the moment, because a lot of them, like, you know, you're not necessarily getting books that you know you'll like. And one thing also, Breaking Binding really like that they do more backlist books, so they do completed series. Typically I'm subscribed to the fantasy sub, brand new subscription for me, but I'm really excited. Anyways, that is a whole other tangent, but really enjoying this, and I am very shocked about it, because I think I will have to say I've attempted to pick this up quite a few times in the past, and I think I've never like quite made it past chapter 1. And honestly, even reading it this time, that was such difficulty for me, because it is not written in a way that I would say is user-friendly. It's not written in a way that is easy for the reader to understand, and the concepts aren't necessarily that difficult, but you're really dropped into this world with very little information. And the prologue in particular, I'd say, has some of the most intense writing that I've ever read, and it's one that, like, it takes a lot to kind of get into it, I would say. And I was really scared getting into this one that it would be one of those books that like is way too dense and I would never be able to enjoy it. And this is coming from like just I love Dune, and I think that is one of the most dense sci-fi books out there, but I genuinely love it. And I should always remind myself that, like, just because a lot of people say something is dense and hard to get into doesn't mean you won't enjoy it. And I think that is kind of what I need to remind myself about this one that I'm intensely intimidated by. But now that I'm kind of a bit of the ways into it and getting a bit more into the flow of the story, I think I'm really enjoying it. And we're just following like this empire, the malazan empire. There is a war going on, and we're following a bunch of people who are like fighting on the battlefields, and a lot of the different factions and like little hints of like all the politics that are going on. And those are all things that I really enjoy in books. So I do think that like it's something that I could really get into. So I've just been kind of reading this a bit as I go, a few chapters here and there. Though I will say this morning I was planning on doing that, of just like reading a chapter or two a day. This morning I read like 4 in a row because I really got into the story, and that makes me really excited. So just I'm reading this. It is going to be a slow go, but I'm still like really enjoying it. I feel like I am so terrible at this vlogging thing. Hi, sweetie. So it's Wednesday now. I like clearly have not updated anything. Sorry if that table is shaking like crazy and shaking my tripod. My kitty's a little too excited. Yeah, clearly have not updated anything since Saturday, Sunday. I don't know how many days it's been. But basically, actually, is today Wednesday? Yes, it is. Today's Wednesday. Fuck. Yeah, I've been so tired this week. I feel like, so in theory, I really love the idea of weekly vlogging. I think that it's something that like I want to get better at. I really want to do more of them. I love the theory. I love just kind of like, even when I watch them, I love watching people like take us along on their weeks. But then I find the last few times I've tried to do them, so there'll be another video up where I was trying to do readathon, and like another, even a weekend vlog, where I just find it's hard. It's really hard for me to like consistently update. And just there's been times where it's been easier. Just right now in my life right now, I think I'm just like a little bit too tired. Just in general, my mental energy is like not here. I'm just in like my really busy period at work, and then I'm trying to keep on top of workouts and everything, and like all my training, and even just like trying to make time for reading has been so impossible, let alone bringing out the camera after a really long day. Oh, and kitty number 2 is here. Hey. She's like mildly scared of screens. Like anytime we have the TV on or anything, she gets really scared. So I think she had a little moment where she saw the camera and freaked out. But yeah, it's just like anything extra on top of the day-to-day things lately has been a bit too much. I'm also PMSing like crazy right now, so you know, like it's making this week even harder. But yeah, I got my hair done. That's one major update that we've had this week, and I have done some other reading. It just hasn't been nearly as much as I typically do, and again, I think it's just very much like my mental energy is non-existent right now. I'm basically like getting home and flopping on the couch and like barely making it to 8 p.m. before I have to go to bed, because I'm just so tired lately. But we're starting to see the end of the tunnel. Like things are looking picking up, like they'll get me a little bit better at work, and then hopefully that will like really positively impact my energy too, because it is getting rough. But let's talk a little bit more about some of the things I've been reading and a little bit of the remaining TBR for this video, because I would really like to focus on finishing off a few more things, because I'm going to read a bit tonight. I'm feeling okay right now for once, and then I have Thursday, Friday, and I'll finish this off on Saturday, even though technically that will be March 1st, and we'll finish it on Saturday. We'll give ourselves like another little day of some more reading. But I have been continuing on Malazan, which don't know where my copy is, but it's one that I'm still unsure of my thoughts in, because to date we are following like two major like locations and cast of characters within each location. One of them is more of like your typical war. There's battles, we're following like the aftermath battles, the major players within this war, or at least like some major people of interest, and a lot of weird things that are potentially happening with these people. And it seems like some of them maybe are not who they say they are. And then in the other one, it's more within a city, and I think we're following more of the nobles within this area. And I can't fully remember, but I think that this is one of the cities that's not within the Malazan Empire yet, so it might be one that could be potentially overtaken. And weirdly enough, so I'm finding I'm much preferring the like battleground part of this, which is really typical, like not typical at all for me. That is not at all what I typically tend to enjoy. I tend to like, while I like kind of like the war stuff in books, I like it more of the political machinations behind it and all of the movements. I don't like being necessarily on the battlefield within a book, but enough intrigue and weird things are happening there that it's making me really interested. And there's a lot of things to do about like these potential different magic users and different assassins and all these things that really are captivating my interest. So I think I'm 40% into it right now, and yeah, like I'm definitely into it. If things keep going the way they are, I think this could be like a 4-star. I don't think it's quite a 5-star for me, but it is very much captivating my interest and making me want to keep going in Malazan, which is a win, major win. I'm planning on like intensely reading tonight, and I guess the next few nights too. Like we're gonna really try to prioritize reading a little bit more, and yeah, get some more of these done. I have a big TBR. So I mentioned before, I would really like to start Hyperion once I'm done Malazan. I don't think I want to read them both at the same time. They feel like they are going to take equal spots of mental energy, but really want to get to this one. And oh my god, the text looks tiny, but very like classic sci-fi that would love to really dive into. I have 2 books that are like 100% overdue at the library, and I really need to get to soon. So A Song to Drown Rivers by Anne Liang. It's inspired by the legend of Yishi. I'm so sorry, I'm definitely going to say that wrong. One of the famous 4 beauties of ancient China. It's an epic novel steeped in myth about womanhood, war, sacrifice, love against all odds, as the fate of the 2 kingdoms hangs in the delicate balance. So this, and then I have Air by Sabatir, which is a new book within the same world of An Ember in the Ashes, which I read that quartet recently, so interested to get into this one. This one I'm a little iffy about, because I did find like I enjoyed the first book a lot in that series, but then all the others went significantly downhill for me, so I don't know how this will go. But these 2 are very overdue at the moment, and I need to finish them and bring them back to the library. Then I do have, again, more on Libby. So right now I have Magician Master by Raymond D. Feist that is due back in 3 days. This is the sequel to Magician Apprentice, which previously I was actually very interested to learn this, that the 2 of them were originally one book, and then he did a revised version I think like 10 years afterwards and divided into 2 books to do more of like a comprehensive, more detail oriented kind of recounting. But it's the first book within his large expanding world. I really enjoyed the first book. We are, as the title suggests, following a apprentice to a magician, and we're in this world where it's like a classical fantasy kingdom, and like what you'd see in normal classical fantasy tale, but there is starting to be like extra dimensional travel, and there's threats from other planets potentially coming in. I thought it was really interesting. And then also in here, I'm currently reading The Dragonbone Chair by Tad Williams. I started it a while ago, but I did just get my loan back in. 30% into that one, would like to finish it, and it's one that is like very like classic fantasy. And the only other thing I'm currently reading is Psycho Devils by Jasmine Mass. That's on KU. I'm 40% into that one, loving it. I was reading it for Romantasy-a-thon, which is a readathon that's finished, and didn't manage to finish that one, but I would really like to finish it this week. It's also a nice, like, it's a wide shoes shifter romance that takes place in like, this one's in like an assassin school basically, and perfect quick brain break when I don't need to intensely think about anything. So those are kind of like all the ones that I have on my radar right now and that I really want to get to. We'll see how realistic that is. In terms of like the goals that I had for reading, I just need to pick one nonfiction. I would really like to find a nonfiction. I did look through and I forget what ones, but I've already read books that correspond to Buzzwordathon, so we're fine with that. We don't need to worry about it. But I just need to go pick a nonfiction book, and I'm not going to worry about the 100 best books from the 21st century. I'm just mentally not there right now. So those are kind of like things that I am taking a look at right now and things that I'm going to be intensely focusing on the next few days. So I'm feeling slightly reinvigorated. We'll see how it goes. I am, like I said, about to start my period, so that could like wildly derail the next few days. We are 6 p.m. now, something like that. I'm going to maybe, make some popcorn and cuddle up and read for a bit. Maybe that will go well for me. I have no idea how this angle is, but let us just do like a very quick update before going to bed tonight. It's 8. I'm not going to bed right now, but I am gonna go get settled into bed and read a little bit more. And let's update a little bit. It's Thursday, by the way. I have primarily been reading Psycho Devils, and it is a shifter romance, 5th book in a series. Really enjoying it. This one, it is 689 pages though, so it is taking me much longer than I kind of anticipated that I would. But at the same time, I'm having honestly a fantastic time with what I'm reading. This one is very competition based, and that's something that I love. That's something that I really enjoy. So I'm 62% into it right now and just having a great time with it. So that's kind of my plan, is that I'm going to get settled in bed for the next little bit and just keep reading this. Don't anticipate finishing tonight, but we can make some good progress. And then I do want to say hi, sweetie. Hello to the visitor. Hello. Do you want to see what's up here? Have you ever seen these shelves? Yeah, have you seen these? What's this? What's that? Is it you? She's such a sweet little girl. Okay, you can go down. So I did want to say that I picked out the nonfiction book that I'm reading this month too, and I have been making some progress in it. Also made a little bit more progress in Gardens of the Moon. I don't know where I was last time I updated, but I'm a little bit further in. So yeah, my nonfiction book that I started is I'm Sorry for My Loss by Rebecca Little and Colleen Long. So this is one that is all about, very much trigger warnings about this one. It is about pregnancy loss, and it very much is something that I think can be a very hard read for a lot of people. So it is something to very much consider. Like, look at these trigger warnings and see if it's something that somebody can really mentally handle before going into it. Something that I've never experienced, so it's not really a triggering subject for me. Also, I'm not planning on ever having children, so it's not really something that is as emotionally impactful. But I do think with a lot of the things the way they are in the world right now, knowing a lot more about reproductive rights and the details behind a lot of pregnancy loss, and just knowing more about those topics, I think can be very important and really deeply affects so many people. I do think that this book also, they're trying to destigmatize a lot of the talk that is around miscarriages and stillbirths, and I think that those are very important topics that are not discussed enough, and something that is very much kind of glossed over. In a lot of things, it's one of those things that people are taught to kind of keep within and not really talk about others about, which I think is really wrong. So it's something, even though it's not really personally personally that emotionally impactful in a lot of ways, it is something that I do want to learn a lot more about. So I'm enjoying it, and so far we're just really kind of getting into a bit of the different types of pregnancy loss, and just really distinguishing all of the different things that could potentially happen. So I could see very difficult read for a lot of people, but I think very important for basically anybody who can have children in this world. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm reading right now, and I am going to head up to bed now. So I will keep reading and come back tomorrow, I guess. time for like a very, very quick lunchtime check-in. And oh my god, it's Friday and we finally finished a book this week. Hello. We finally did something, and it has, I don't know, I've been a little bummed out and just feeling like I have not accomplished anything this week. So yay to us for doing that, finishing a book. We did something. I finished Psycho Devils, and this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, honestly, if you're kind of seeing my progression through the series. But hey, 5 stars. This one was ridiculous. It had a lot going on. It was insane, and that so perfectly for me. There's like literally nothing I can complain about it. Like, to be fair, there's a few male love interests who I don't necessarily love, and they are a little weird in my mind. They're kind of going a little bully romance, which I don't love. I still enjoy it. I enjoy the tension. I enjoy the drama. I enjoy the ridiculousness, and I just eat this shit up. And let us just be very, very much reminded in this. When I say a book is 5 stars, I don't mean it's good. It's a 5 stars for me. And yeah, I fully love it. I'm definitely going to be diving into the next one because you know what? Sometimes you just have to do things that make you happy. And sometimes that is just reading ridiculous books. I am going to be like slowly continuing the other books that I have on the go right now, which honestly right now just Malazan and the nonfiction book. I'm not, as much as I want to get to those library ones, I don't know if I realistically will today or tomorrow. Because yeah, I decided to extend this vlog to tomorrow. Oh, hi baby. Yeah, I'm honestly probably just gonna pick up the next book in that series, Psycho Gods. That is the 6th and final book in this world, and as much as I don't want it to end, I'm really, really needing to see how it goes. So that's gonna kind of just be what I dive into next, I think. I have some like chicken in the slow cooker right now, like some teriyaki chicken, and oh my god, it smells good. I am starving. I've already had lunch, but like, oof, I am getting so hungry. I think I need like a really nice snack in a little bit. But hey, we are like 2 p.m. on Saturday, so technically it's March 1st. Technically this readathon this weekly vlog should be over, but we're going to extend this just a few more hours and see if we can finish off one more book, because I am making some pretty good progress on the nonfiction that I'm reading. So I'd really, really like to try and, you know, just finish that off and just say that I've read a book, nonfiction, towards February and kind of have that checked off in my mind. So I am making pretty decent progress in it. I think I'm over halfway in right now, because one thing that's difficult with nonfiction sometimes is gauging exactly how long they are. So this one, it is showing that I'm only like 30-ish% into it, but when you look at like the index of the book, the last like 200 pages of this one are entirely appendices and just extra information. So technically I think I only have about 150-ish pages left to go. So that's really, really not too bad. It's just one of those books that I'm not finding it necessarily like thrilling to continue. Really enjoying it, really enjoying the information, and I feel like I am learning a lot, but at the same time it is heavy information and a little bit drier, because just talking in general about so many things about pregnancy loss in this one, I don't know why, but I thought it would be primarily centered on abortion, but it's actually really, really centering on all the different types of ways that pregnancy can be lost and all of the different stages that like throughout a pregnancy that things can happen. And we're really getting into the history of like reproductive care, abortion care, and just in general like access to birthing care in the US. Like it is very, very focused on the US in general, which makes sense. It's from American authors. So a lot of it not necessarily relevant to things that I would experience in my life, I guess. Like it's not really, really information pertinent to me, but it is still very, very fascinating to learn about. And again, like I think this is intensely important information for people to know, because it's one of those like, whether or not you plan on having kids, for anybody who's able to birth a child, it's still very important information to know about like things that could happen, I guess, and just also how to like support those around you who might be going through similar things. So I think that it's like a very, very important book in that way, and I'm definitely finding a lot of it enjoyable. Some stuff I've already known, but it's just interesting to have a more comprehensive like guideline on a lot of this stuff. And it is like very American centric. It's very heterosexually focused as well, and just on cis women, which I think it's the authors addressed more of like there's not really that much more information available on like gender non-conforming individuals or people who are not necessarily like in the binary women. And it's just another another proof of how much information we're lacking, but I'm enjoying that quite a bit. And I have been making some progress on malazan. So I'm well over the 50% mark. I think we could say more like 65-ish. And again, like I am enjoying this. I am definitely enjoying it. I'm definitely having like a really good time with what I'm reading, but at the same time, this is dense. And the more I go on, the more I'm really questioning whether or not I'm going to want to continue on in this series, because how many books are there? There's like 18 books in it. Maybe, I don't really know, to be honest. But I do know that it is a very expansive series, and a lot of them are very like heavy books. And from what I've heard from a lot of people is that the first 3 books are incredibly disjointed. You have to read those, and then the story really starts from there, which I don't know if that's kind of the vibe I want to go for. Like, I'm tempted. I'm definitely very tempted, and I am enjoying this one. So, you know, that makes me want to continue, makes me want to be interested and see where this goes, because I'm seeing a lot of like interesting things about the magic in this world, the politics. There's things about gods getting involved, and just all of these weird magical things happening. And I can definitely see so many ways that this world could be intensely interesting. But now I'm like, you know, is this something I necessarily want to commit to? I might want to try it on audio, actually. Maybe the other books, if I read them on audio, they'd be a bit better. But I'm, really not sure if I'm going to want to continue by the time like that I'm done this. And I don't know if it's even worth my time. Like, a lot of people seem to love malazan and really enjoy it, but you know, like, I don't know if it's worth it. So we're gonna keep going on this one. I highly doubt that I'll actually be able to finish it today, but it's one that we are just like plugging along in as well. So we're probably gonna film for like the next, so it's like 2-ish now. I'm gonna say let's film till like 5. Let's keep reading. I can definitely finish my nonfiction by then, and then we will continue on to the next thing, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading now, and I'll come back in a bit. Hi, I'm just coming in very quickly to wrap up this vlog before I head to bed. I was going to film an outro like so long ago, and then it just slipped my mind, and I've kind of just been chilling and not doing too much. But I did finish. I mean, I made no progress in malazan, but I did finish I'm Sorry for My Loss, which I'm gonna give 4 stars. I think that this was a very good read, very important, very hard, and there was a lot of things towards the end that were really emotionally impacting me, and I was finding very hard to like actually get through. So definitely one that, you know, it is a heavy topic, and even though I didn't think it would impact me that much, I really was finding it hard to read. But I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I feel weird reading nonfiction. It just wasn't quite a 5 for me. I don't know if I can really quantify why, but it wasn't. And otherwise, yeah, I'm just going to wrap up the vlog here. So thank you for coming along with me this past week. Didn't go quite as well as I hoped it would. I think we finished 2 books, maybe. Yeah, so just not nearly as productive as I was kind of hoping it would be, but we're gonna see how things go on from here. The next 2 vlogs should be hopefully a bit more interesting, and maybe more reading will get done. I don't know. Let me know if you find it okay if I'm only reading like 1 or 2 books in a weekly vlog, or if it's something that you would prefer I do, like, I don't know, have a bit more to talk about in terms of books. But whatever, we will wrap it up. So thanks for watching. I would love if you would subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully I will see you in a video soon. Bye.